This is New York session on US 30. This is the 30-minute chart. As you can see, let me go to daily time frame first, and let's see if we can have some opportunities. Okay, so as we can see, let me clear all these lines. Good. So as you all can see, um, we are on, the pair is on an uptrend. Okay, US 30 is on an uptrend. You can see, good. And so it's just similar to that 25 1S pair. So we had these all-time highs here. Mhm. We had these all-time highs here, and then we got a pullback to this area, and then it started rallying up, 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 up to this side. Let me check the weekly time frame to see how that is being represented. Good. So perfect. So back to daily. Yeah. So we have those highs taking. So here price got us into these equal highs here, and then it's pulled back just a little bit into here. Here, and then broke up the highs and then retested a little bit and rallied all the way up and then came back to correct into the highs that it broke. Okay, so um yeah, so we have that correction back to the highs that it took. So normally we are supposed to have or get, so two things should happen now. We can get higher highs and keep rallying up, or this can serve as a double top formation or relative equal highs, which is liquidity that will be piled here on the daily time frame for a later revisit or sweep. But this here, this tops here, okay, can help us to get some kind of a reversal or a very long-term correction. So where are we correcting to? Um, when we were at these highs and price pulled back down, it's likely we could have viewed this area, this because from this highs here, price took out. Let me show you. Okay. When price dropped, it took out these lows. Sorry, yeah, this area. It took out these lows. Okay, so this low is a valid low because it took out these highs when it was going up, pull back, higher highs. Okay, pull back, higher highs, pull back, higher highs. So price swept all of these, broke structure to the downside. So this was some kind of an indication that we should be going bearish. Okay, we should be having some pullback. Okay, bearish market. But after that, then it rallied all the way up and then rallied all the way up and then took out these highs. So we can say that these highs that were taken could serve as price coming up to grab liquidity. So giving us intention that it wants to pull back or go down and then quickly going up to sweep all the highs. So with that said, normally, uh, please can you mute whoever joined, can you mute yourself? Can you mute? Okay, good. So if we look at if we measure this range, we have to look at 78.6%. So when price got to 78.6%, this area, this small resistance here area, okay, you can see that we can see from that resistance that this resistance that we broke through the resistance, got into the 100%, and then we pull back into the resistance as support, and then we rallied up, making higher highs, lower highs, higher highs, lower highs. So if this current double top we are seeing on the daily time frame is set to hold, the destination for this pullback or sweep to the downside, the initial or first destination, one is going to be retesting the higher highs that were taken out, and it has done that. It has come down. Now it moves up again to form another head, or sorry, another top or head. So if we are going to see a drop, then the drop will likely come into this resistance 10 support, this area. And then we can see a bounce to the upside again. Or probably even, yeah, I mean, for now, a move down again or a bounce just to the upside. Okay, so these are the two ideas or options that we should expect. So this is the most immediate resistance 10 support point for me. Okay, because that is what I'll be looking for to frame my PSR. Okay, so my precision support resistance. So with that said, good. So with that said, I have a point of interest down here that I'll be expecting or seeing if price will come into. Okay, I have a point of interest here. So let me refine that point. Yeah, like this. Okay, let me refine that point. So from that point to the upside, from here to the upside, let's see, because that move has also taken broken structure. So let's see how it measures. So we have price pulling back. The first pullback came straight into 50% equilibrium. And then we moved to the upside, kind of giving us an relative equal highs, or yeah, something like that, sweeping the previous high and then pulling back into the range. So it does that. So what we should be looking for right now is after this pullback, we have to find an important resistance support point up here. And then so that if price is able to close below that resistance support, we will be able to frame our sell setup for the pullback. Okay, so that is one thing. So one, we can either frame a sell setup or a continuation setup. But from what I am looking at right now, I feel like, I sense that we might have a very big pullback. We might have a pullback into this area. So with that said, let's move into this area. Let's see what is happening in this area, because this is our current area where we want to trade. By the way, if you have any question as I'm trying to frame the setup before we take, you can stop me or you can speak, okay? If you don't understand anything I mentioned. So we want to study what is happening here, and then we can frame an entry. So let me go to the 4-hour time frame to see what is happening. Good. So from the 4-hour time frame, from the 4-hour time frame, so let's say one, we got price were here, then it moved up like this. Okay, like this. Price moved up. We got a pullback to like 78.6%, and price, we got moved up, 23, dropped back again, and then moved up again, and has given us some kind of a new high or relative equal highs. So this is becoming interesting. So what do I want to see here? I want to one, get my PSR. Okay, that's the first thing I want to get from this 4-hour. So what is the PSR? What point on this chart right now has price used as both support and resistance? Okay, so one, I can see that around this area, price touched this place and dropped. I can also see that there was a touch here and there was a reaction. I can also see that there are touches here, touch here, moved up. I can see that there is an impulsive sell move that took off from here. I can see price bought to this place and reacted down. I can see price broke above it, came below, retested here, and then sold. Okay, I can see now price goes up, comes back to sit right here at this point, and is trying to make its a reaction or a move up. So for me, this area here is an important point where I will pay attention to. Okay, this is an important point that I will pay attention to. So what I would say is that because this point that I have just outlined or shown. Anytime price hit here, it drops. Hit, drop, or price sits on it to move up. The meaning of this is that there are both sellers and buyers at this point. So sellers are sitting on top of this line, pushing price down. Buyers are sitting below it, pushing price up. So if we are to close below the buyers, likely the sellers will take control. If we are to close above the sellers, then it's likely the buyers will take control. So now we go above the sellers with this indication, with this bullish indication. Look at this momentum candle, this big candle, okay? That it closes above the sellers, okay, that are here. So this is an indication that above this line, we should have buys. Okay, so now price comes back to hit that point and it's making a reaction. Look at the current 4-hour candle. It's making a reaction to the upside, though it's reacting inside this fair value gap and failed order block right now. Okay, so let's see. We are inside uh this gap, bullish fair value gap. Price is reacting into this bearish failed order block here, bearish failed order block and fair value gap here. Okay, so let's see what is going to happen. So let me go to the 30 minutes. Let me scale to the 30 minutes and see what is happening. Okay, so this is the 30 minutes now. At New York session, the first 30 minutes candle is still okay. So we have the first 30 minutes candle is going to close in 1 minute's time. So let's see, because sometimes I like even the first 1 hour candle to close so that I will see what price is doing and the manipulations that is going to give. So now we are above precision support. We are above this point and we should look for buys above this point. That is the first point we have established now, according to the strategy that I'm trying to bring on board. So we're supposed to look for buys. Price hit exactly and it's reacting, but it's also reacting into this order block, a failed order block, because price moves up to take a previous high out and quickly drop back into the range. Okay, drop back into the range, taking out this previous low. Okay, so sweep of liquidity or take off a previous high, take an internal low. So two things here. We can have, after reacting into this failed order block and fair value gap up here on the 4-hour, we can have price sweep down and give us an indication for a sell. Once we get a close below this PSR, precision support area here, we get a body close here. What we can now wait for is price kind of pulling back into this range to sweep liquidity, something like that, and then we can sell. Then we can sell. We can sell. Okay, so that is something that we can look at. The other thing is also that I want to see if there are any patterns that is showing on the chart. Let me go back to the 4-hour because that gives me more precise prices. Good. So we have So let's say if I'm taking it from this point, we have this high, we have a low here, and we have a higher high. And we have price dip into this place. And then, so this is kind of, this is like a head for me, and price should have made a left shoulder, okay, so that we can break when it pull back up. But instead, let me draw it again. So what I'm saying is I can see we are having a high, lower high, we have a higher high, and price drops to test here, and then we should get a right shoulder so that we can have a drop. We should get this. But instead, after breaking down, price comes up and gives us another head. Okay, another head. So what does this mean? So it means that we have to wait for price to let me put a trend line here instead of pay attention. Or so that I want us to take the trade with understanding. So we have this pattern seeing itself. This pattern in itself is a reversal pattern. So if only what I'm seeing is right and it's going to hold, it will help us get a sell or the reversal. So we broke here and came down. Breaking means that, okay, so let's see the logic here. Anytime that price hits the head and shoulders neckline or trend line, like here, price goes up, makes a left. So I just need like a swing pattern to form. A high in a bullish market, a high, higher high, and then a lower high or relative equal highs to form. And I need price to form a lower high. Okay, so high, higher high, lower high. So now I have a high, I have a higher high, okay, and then I have equal highs. I should look for lower highs, okay, a lower high. If price does not come up to take these tops out again, then I'm going to have like a failure swing or a lower high here. And that will be the the right shoulder, okay? And that is going to what let price fall. So anytime we see price hit the neck shoulder straight, the head and shoulders trend line or neck, this the left shoulder is what gives the neck. Anytime price hits the neck, like hit this area, it bounce up, hit goes up, hit goes up. The head comes to test it, and the head is supposed to break. So the head tests it, moves up, but comes down and then breaks it. Okay. So then what this means is that if price hits here and it goes up, and now it has broken it, what it means is that it should be giving us, it's telling us that below this neck or trend line, it's rather going to sell. Okay, so now price come up, hit it again, drop, hit it again, hit it again here, a drop. Okay, though it goes above, and then comes, but it fails. It's always failing to make us a new low, okay, to break structure to the downside. So price kept coming up, and then it closes above it, tests it, and then pushes up. Now, as it pushes up, it drops back again into the range and then gives us a close below the neck, which is the trend line. Okay, so though we have double heads, we are below where price should be selling. Okay, according to this head and shoulder pattern. Okay, we are below where price should be selling. So with that said, what is going to make this sell setup very strong is if we are below this head and shoulders trend line and we are also below the PSR main support precision support resistance, then we are going to have a stronger sell impulse. Okay, so with that said, what we need in order to sell, if not, we cannot sell. What we will need in order to sell is that price should be below this trend line and be below this PSR, this violet line, this line. Okay, purple. Yeah, you see purple line. Good. Price should be below the trend line and below here. Okay, so now let's go up here and then frame another precision support. So you can see up this point here. Guys, if the meeting goes off, we have another session to do. So I'll quickly send a new link into the group so that we join and then we can do the last session and probably take the trade from there. So we have this point here and we have these areas. Okay, so you can see that anytime